Useful. You get some bookings as a part-time singer and pianist in northern clubs and pubs. Then in 1955, you moved to London in search of fame. And it's there that baritone singer Les Dawson makes this record. Well, that recording came after hours of singing lessons, standing alongside a grand piano in a basement flat in Bassett Road, North Kensington. That was 15 years ago. But that same piano is still making music in that same flat. And those hands are the hands of the same person who gave you those singing lessons in that flat. Musical director of the Players Theatre, London now. I need hardly tell you, of course, it is Betty Lawrence.
Hello, Les. Welcome to the Bassett basement. Well, that song brings it all back, doesn't it? Do you remember me playing it here and you standing over there singing it in your dark, rich voice? I always knew you'd make it, and so did you. I'm absolutely delighted for you. See you soon.
Yes, she'll see you soon because she's here tonight. Come in, Betty Lawrence.
That's it.
Betty, that record, I Lie and Dream, has a special meaning for you and Les, doesn't it?
Well, the song was written specially for Les, and he rather liked it, so we made that private recording which you just heard, and hoped it might trigger off a singing career for him, but things didn't work out that way. And he went back to Manchester soon after, rather disillusioned. But he still wrote to me, and he always signed his letters, I Lie and Dream. So you see, he was still dreaming of success, and I'm so thrilled, Les, that your dreams have come true.
Thank you, Betty Lawrence. Thank you. Well, success was, in fact, just a dream in those days in London because times were so hard that you had to take a succession of jobs, far removed from the world of showbiz. What sort of jobs, Les, did you, in fact, take?
To bet you yak herding. I used to bed mice for a living. No, I did all sorts of things. I was kitchen porter in big restaurants in London and babysitting anything to make a crust because, things were so bad. My ribs were sticking out so much I became a hat stand.
Well, gagging apart, he did take all these jobs. And in the summer of 1956, a very disillusioned Les Dawson returns home to Manchester and back to the job that he'd quit to go to London, selling and servicing vacuum cleaners and washing machines.
He's the only salesman I know to ask for time off to appear in a nude review.
That's the man who in 1956 gave you your old job back, your boss for 9 years, George Walker.
Oh, no! Where you sprung from?
Out of a washing machine. Tell us about the occasion when he asked for time off, George.
Well, it was just after he came back from London, and I knew he hasn't got this show business bug out of his body, although he said he had. And he asked me if I could go on the Hume Hippodrome to appear in the Pauline Penny show, which was a nude review, and as a lead singer.
And you let him?
I agreed, providing that he got his work done for me, and there was no question about that.
Yeah, nice stripped.
Being the brilliant salesman he was, of course, he achieved it.
But this wasn't the last you heard of this permission.
Oh, no. The morning after the first night, of course, I was called into the office and by my boss, and he said, I went along to see a show in Manchester last night, and I'm sure there was one of your representatives on that stage. I said, that can't be so. He said, well, you better go along tonight and find out for yourself.
Did you?
So I had to go along, and sure enough, there was Leslie, surrounded by naked girls singing Autumn Leaves.
Thank you, George Walker. Thank you. Well, Les, I don't know what expression you were wearing during Autumn Leaves, but would you mind telling us how you hit upon this sad-faced expression that we all know so well now? How did you come to Think that up.
Well, it's only a stage image. I mean, in my private life, I'm a happy-go-lucky manic-depressive. But the thing was that I was working a club in the northeast a long time ago, and I died. I was dying so badly in India they were calling me the fourth prophet. And it began to dawn on me that really I was a flop, a complete flop. And so one night I got stoned before I went on. And I slumped on the piano and just looked at them, and they looked at me, and the first thing I said was, it's a great pleasure to be in this reconverted kibber depot. And they just spent thousands on this place, which didn't help matters, but that was how it started, and it's been ever since. And I am a pessimist, I suppose.
Meg, do you remember the first time you met Les? Was it a romantic occasion?
Well, not really. I went to a club in Manchester with a boyfriend, and Les was with the artist booked for the night playing the piano. So during the night I was asked to go over to Les to ask if he'd like to use a clavier. And when I went over to him, I said, would you like to use a clavier, Mr. Dawson? And he said, no thanks, love, I've just been.
Well, anyhow, a year after that first spectacular meeting, Les, you and Meg were married on June the 25th, 1960 at St. Thomas's Church, Crumpsall, Manchester. Now, your popularity as a comedian brought you radio bookings and several television appearances until eventually you consider leaving George's firm and turning full-time professional. And that decision, Meg, coincided with a very important family decision, didn't it?
Yes, well, we were told we couldn't have any children. So we decided that we'd put a deposit down in this new bungalow, and then we'd blow the rest of our savings in and go to Paris for a second honeymoon cycle. And then when we came back, we was expecting Julie.
Julie.
So now I've got 3, a little girl, a little boy, and a baby in 5 months.
So if there's anybody out there that has any problems, don't worry over it.
That's Julie, Stuart and
Family.
yeah? The complete fun-loving Dawson family. And the laughter in your home, Les, is often at its loudest when a friend of yours and a particular favourite of the children comes to stay and entertain them with this sound.
Whoa, buddy.
Get down, get down.
It's baby Pamela's godfather. He recently scored a hit on the Royal Variety Performance, comedian Norman Collier.
I'm very happy for it. I should have been working tonight.
Should you really? The basic stuff what you mentioned of.
Norman, I know that you were very proud, in fact, when Les and Meg asked you to be godfather to Pamela. Tell us, why do you think they chose you for the job?
Well, he wasn't getting enough laughs with the kids, and he got me. I think to make the baby laugh. I think it was the first time I'd worked in weeks. But a marvellous time that day. But I always remember, because I used to stop at Les's and Meg's, you know, when I was working in Manchester. It was very good because they used to book digs and I used to move in. Get down. So Les is away somewhere, and Meg wants to do some shopping. So she said, well, I'm just going out for half an hour. Would you look after the kids for me? She said, well, the marvellous kids, Stuart and Dewar, you know. Dewar loves dressing up, and Stuart likes doing little funny bits, like taking off Elvis Presley. So I'm watching the television, and in walks Stuart in the lounge. He's got nothing on. He's starkers. Of course, Julie follows him. She's nothing on. She goes, oh, no, get your clothes on. So I'll chase him upstairs, down the stairs, out through the door, and into the street. There's me chasing the kids up the street.
When you and Les were there, in fact, I think you try out gags on each other, don't you?
That's, I remember we was having a chat about looking for material, like when we did the visual bits
yes.
in the swimming pool, on the water swimming. Remember that time? I did this bit, remember?
Yeah.
And he said, how about the human balloon? Do you remember the human balloon?
The human balloon, yeah.
Will you do it for me? Do the
human balloon, yeah.
Do the human balloon. Got to do the human balloon.
Ladies and gentlemen, the human balloon.
It was Les Dawson, the family man, who in May 1967 walked into a television studio to make a final attempt to make his name in show business on Opportunity Knocks. And you were more confident, Meg, than he was at that occasion, weren't you?
Yes, well, we had,
Appearance on Sunday night at the London...